I, 39 female, have been estranged from my father for more than 20 years now. He disliked my indifference to his wife and younger children. That's how I felt from the very first time he remarried. It didn't make me happy that he was remarrying, but I also told him I wouldn't stop him, but he shouldn't expect me to be glad either. I was 9 at the time. By the time I finished high school and had moved, he told me I couldn't continue to be indifferent. It upset his wife and children, and I needed to try and find love for them. I told him I didn't want to. I told him he didn't need to worry because I wouldn't be around much. He said I shouldn't be around at all if I couldn't put forth the effort to try. I didn't, and we went our separate ways. I didn't have therapy as a child, but did go as an adult. It didn't change my lack of interest in building a relationship with my father's second family. A few weeks ago, I was contacted by a half-sibling who said they had all wondered about me and wanted to meet me. I declined, saying I wasn't interested. The half-sibling who contacted me asked for one chance to talk where they could see my face, so we arranged a Zoom call where they had questions for me. The biggest question was whether I regretted not trying and becoming so estranged from them. I was there, honestly, so I told them I didn't regret it, and I still stood by it being the best decision I could have made. Even if going entirely estranged was my father's decision, I still think it was the best in the long term. They didn't like my honesty, and they said I could have been kinder about it. I replied they're all adults and shouldn't ask questions and expect lies in return. They said sugarcoating it at least. I asked what that would have looked like, saying I always wondered what, if, when, even if I didn't actually, saying I would always be fond of them. They called me cruel and heartless. They said seeing my Facebook profile, where I clearly have very close relationships and I have children of my own, and not having that spark of desire to have my flesh and blood in my life was a cruel slap in the face for them. They insisted I shouldn't have been so blunt and honest. I told them it was best to end this, and I left the call. I also blocked the half-sibling who reached out to me, but they did find a way around that with another profile or two, and direct messaged me with the message that I'm an idiot and how dare I. I did make my account entirely private after that, but it does make me feel I should ask, am I the idiot for not lying or sugarcoating when I spoke to them? Edit, my stepmom died recently. She was nice. She was a little too nice in some ways. She was eager to fill the role my mom left behind and came on very strong. That was until she had a child of her own and realized that their having a baby together did not make me jealous of her attention going somewhere else, and she left it alone after that. Her response was along the thinking of, why wouldn't you be happy about a new mom when most kids your age would love the chance to get another? He would also ask me why it didn't make me jealous that she was pouring her attention onto their first child. Oh wow, your dad didn't have feelings for your feelings. Your father's wife seems like she wanted almost to replace your mom, until she had kids that were hers. Seems to me as if you were a 9-year-old kid left to feel really lousy, and adults weren't paying attention to how you felt at all. I'm glad you have a family that's yours now. You don't owe sugarcoating to anyone. Not the idiot. I believe in not asking questions you don't want the answer to. Let me ask you a question and be honest in your reply. Gives honest answer. Not that honest. And it seems like they reached out to OP just to vent their frustrations on them, possibly directed by Dad. You are the idiot. You lost your mom when you were young, and that is a difficult tragedy. There's no abuse or neglect here, just a stepmom that you didn't need or want. I'm not sure why you lack basic empathy for your siblings. They are human beings reaching out, trying to connect with their family. Is it jealousy that they were the center of a new family, or that your dad found happiness again? While you're not a large idiot, there was room for manners, courtesy and empathy. She owes them none of those things. Sugarcoating or lying would just get them to keep reaching out to the OP, which she clearly doesn't want. While she was blunt with them, nothing seemed aggressively mean. She even declined straight away when asked to meet, but she only agreed after they wouldn't let it go. She handled it well. I, female 24, think this is weird, but both my sister, 26, and fiancé, male 27, are saying it's not, and I want a third party. Basically, my fiancé works out every weekend after work from 6:30 to 7:30ish, and I always knew he had a workout partner. I just assumed it was one of his friends. Then, on Friday, we were chatting while I started on dinner and he got ready to go, and I mentioned that I had a book I wanted my sister to read because I know she likes reading, and my fiancé was like, "Give it to me, I'll give it to her." I was obviously like, "What?" and he got uncomfortable. Like, he started saying he should probably go and all, But I asked him why he said that, and he said that it wasn't a big deal, but my sister is his workout partner. I thought that was weird, especially since he never told me about this. He said they just happened to go to the same gym and it became a thing. He said I'm overreacting. Am I? I don't think I am. It's weird. I mean, if I was working out with his brother, he'd think it was weird. I don't want to be like an annoying, jealous girlfriend, but it rubs me the wrong way. I can see why my sister never told me since I don't see her much, and she literally never tells anyone anything but my fiancé. I live with him. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. The fact neither your sister nor fiancé thought to mention to you they were workout partners is the red flag here, so I see how you got upset. Something feels sneaky about them not being open with you on this. To be fair to my sister, she's always been private her whole life. She didn't even tell us when she got into law school. She said she forgot. We, my parents and I, only found out because my fiancé, who was my boyfriend at the time, is a law student too and happened to mention it offhandedly. Wait a minute, so the only reason you found out that your sister and fiancé know each other and have known each other since law school is because your fiancé accidentally mentioned it? And had it not been for your fiancé being a loose-lipped idiot, you'd never have known that they knew each other since law school and worked out regularly together. Are there any other areas of her life that you only find out about because your fiancé happens to momentarily forget you're not as close to her as he is? The red flags are painting their town red. It's pretty clear they will have a relationship after OP, considering how close they seem to have been for quite some time. OP, whether they've slept together or not is beside the point. He's obviously seeing her behind your back and is emotionally cheating at the very least. Yeah, this was my thinking too. Does the sister even know that the OP is with this guy? It sounds like the sister knew the fiancé way before OP got with him. OP, your soon-to-be husband knows more about your sister's life than you and your parents, so she isn't private with your fiancé? I think that says a lot. Please, boil some noodles with all this marinara. I'm 34 female, a retired trapeze artist, and my daughter, young grammar school, is enrolled in circus school. She loves it so much that she asked to see a Cirque du Soleil show as a birthday present. My husband, 31, and I managed to get discount tickets to take her and 3 of her friends from circus school on a 2-hour drive to catch the nearest show. When I got there, I checked the company credits and noticed a friend. An acrobat from Belgium was one of the performers. I hadn't seen him in years and sent him a message on Instagram saying I was in the audience with my daughter and excited to see him. He replied almost immediately and told me to look for a stage manager after the show so we could say hi and I could take my daughter backstage. And so I did. Since he only invited my daughter and me, I didn't mention in my short message that there were 3 other girls and my husband, and I couldn't impose taking a small party backstage. My husband waited with the girls for about 20 minutes after the show was over while we toured backstage. My daughter was so happy, yet she kept talking about it on the way home, and that's when I realized the other girls could be feeling left out. What do you know? The same night, one of the girls' mothers called me to say her daughter came home crying because she didn't get to go backstage and that it was very poor form on my part to invite them to a party and exclude them from one of the experiences. I tried to explain how things played out, but she kept being aggressive, until I finally lost it and told her she had no right to call me and try to reprimand me and should instead have a talk to her daughter about how to deal with such frustrations. My husband says I shouldn't have instigated it and that, in hindsight, I shouldn't have split the party. Am I the idiot? You could have simply informed your friend that you were in the company of your daughter's friends and left it up to him to decide. You also could have told your daughter not to keep talking about it with her friends there so they wouldn't feel left out. That's simple, if you really felt the need to only take your kid and not the others. Instead, you did in fact leave 3 other kids out. You allowed your daughter to brag about what she alone got to do, and you're surprised a bunch of 6-year-olds felt left out. You then double down on the one mom who wanted to defend her kid's feelings. Yes, you are the idiot. OP's not the idiot. While I agree she could have asked for more people to go backstage, we don't know how the relationship between the 2 artist friends and OP is. I'm guessing they wouldn't have minded having a few more kids there, but I maintain that other kids are not getting what birthday kid gets is the norm, not idiocy. Exactly. It was OP's daughter's birthday. OP has no obligation to make sure everyone experiences the same thing because it's not about them. It's about her daughter's birthday. Is OP not allowed to have a special moment with their daughter on the day she was born at a party that's meant for her at an expensive circus show? Get a grip, dude. Going backstage is not the best part of seeing Cirque du Soleil. Good grief. The kids were safe and still got a free night out paid for by OP. The other kid sounds like a spoiled brat, and her mother sounds entitled and enabling. Guaranteed the other kid wouldn't remember not going backstage, but OP's daughter will remember this special opportunity. We've been dating for about 3 months and recently started to stay at each other's places. About a week ago, when we were in bed and about to go to sleep, she asked if she could use my phone to finish a show she was watching because her phone's battery was low and she forgot her charger. I handed her my phone, told her the code, then turned around and went to sleep. Since that night, she regularly uses my phone to watch her shows and movies because my phone is better than hers. Last night, we were out to dinner and I left my phone in my car. Since everything has been happening worldwide, I've been keeping up with the news. While waiting for a table and I didn't have my phone, I asked her if I could use hers to check on the latest news. She asked me where mine was and I answered I left it in the car. She suggested I wait until after dinner or go and get it. Then there was nothing but silence. I was confused and things got very awkward to the point the other people in the waiting area noticed. The awkwardness lasted through dinner because I was still confused and she was angry. After dinner, as I was driving home, she texted me to tell me I was an idiot to put her in that position in public and that I should have accepted her hints before she had to say no. I didn't see the big deal, but she's royally angry with me and said I had a lot of making up to do. Was I wrong to ask to use her phone after she's been using mine wherever she wanted? Not the idiot. The reason she's using your phone is probably she's snooping, man. She feels guilty for what she's hiding, so her mind is telling her you're probably doing the same. So she's looking for evidence to ease her conscience. It's a form of projecting. Sorry, man, you sound like a nice guy. 100%. Her aggressive reaction is trying to gaslight him into feeling guilty for asking for her phone is also classic. She's probably sending whatever she needs to herself in case anything happens so she can go, "See, you did this." Do people in 3-month relationships really think it's normal to share their phone codes and passwords with their romantic partners? I find it surprising, but maybe my partner and I are more private and respectful of each other's privacy than is the norm. I can't imagine giving someone free reign of my phone in that way to begin with, but I'll gladly share my phone charger. Also, I'm never without my charger. I can imagine unlocking my phone to let a partner watch a particular video or read an article while we're together at most. OP, I think you should change your code and not give it out again, and just buy her an extra charger to have at your house if this relationship continues. Info, how did things become awkward and how did others notice? Were you planning on letting her have the mental load of dealing with the hostess and just sticking to the news? Were you standing in the waiting area repeatedly asking her to use her phone on a date night? That's entirely different than using a phone when the other is going to bed. Will she let you use it at home, or have you tried any other time than date night at the hostess stand? Yeah, I'm shocked by the amount of people jumping to cheating here when on a dinner date is a completely reasonable time to just not want your partner to be scrolling on their phone in general. Dude, if she doesn't want you on her phone ever when she feels welcome to yours, yeah, concerning. Not handing her phone over when you two are out to dinner? Sorry, not really. My ex-wife and I divorced 6 years ago. We married really young, she's very religious, and there was pressure from her family to marry. I was young and dumb and had just left the military with no sense of direction. We were very different, but it didn't come out as we only dated for 8 months before marrying. It felt very romantic to marry after such a short time, but after we wed and moved in together, it was clear we weren't a good match. We stuck it out for 8 years, but it wasn't working and we were both older, so the whole thing of living miserably to make other people happy, her and my parents, didn't appeal anymore. I don't blame her for any of it. I think we just didn't understand what we wanted at the time and did things to please other people. We had an amicable divorce and our son lived with her until high school. He's with me for high school because we live near a top school and she lives in a small town with a good high school. He's supposed to spend summers and holidays with her and come here during the school year. My ex-wife got diagnosed with cervical cancer last month and it was caught late, so it's already spread. The long-term survival rates aren't great and I want my son to visit his mother in a week or two before she goes through her hysterectomy. My vacation renews every June 30th. I'd saved 2 weeks to go to Hawaii this winter break. However, with this situation, I want to take a week or two to go with my son to be there for him. His mom won't be able to cook and clean for him, and he also wants me to drive them up to the next city to visit his grandparents. The other issue is my son might have to stay with us for this winter break. He's supposed to go to his mom's, but it's unlikely now, depending on her treatment schedule, and I don't want to go on vacation with him alone with this happening. My girlfriend isn't happy because we have winter break set up to go to Hawaii and our flights have been booked. I called the airline and they said they would switch our flights to a later one for $600, which I offered to cover so we could rebook the vacation for next fall instead. But she thinks my son should be able to return alone and thinks I'm wasting my vacation going with him when we already have plans. My son does go on flights by his own, he's mid-teens. However, this time my ex isn't going to be physically able to take care of our son. There are also a lot of things to be done in prep for my son and my ex before she goes through chemo and surgery. My girlfriend is upset I'm prioritizing my ex over her, but I see it as going because my son might lose his mom. Oh wow, your current girlfriend is cold and heartless. Not the idiot. You're doing the right thing by your son. He will experience tragedy, and your girlfriend is more concerned about her vacation plans. She's jealous of a dying woman. I cannot imagine being so insecure that I pout over my partner wanting to be there for his child during such a difficult time. I'd be proud to be dating someone so caring and compassionate. You need to ask yourself if this woman is really who you want to be with, especially since you have a son to think about. Do you want to date someone who's this callous to your kid? Reframe this in your head. You are prioritizing your son's needs over your girlfriend's wants. You would be a terrible parent if you didn't prioritize your son's physical and emotional well-being while he's in the process of potentially losing his other parent. Any partner who doesn't understand that and support you being there for your son is not a partner worth having. Rebook for next year and try to find a better girlfriend to bring with you on the rebooked trip. Or better yet, bring your son with you instead.